Right now, the world is very uncertain. The coronavirus has left us isolated and separated. The recent racial justice protests have left people feeling angry, people feeling divided. We have so much anxiety, we have so much loss, we have real suffering. But for the 45 minutes of my presentation, I want to open the world to you. I want you to see people, to see humanity, to hear stories of hope and connection, and realize that empathy for each other is perhaps our best way through this all. My name is Mallory Brown, and I am a documentary filmmaker and humanitarian advocate. My job is to travel the world and tell real stories of human connection. I'm 33 years old, and I have been to 52 countries around the world. This is my map over here of everywhere that I've been. Yes, sometimes I actually do feel like a real-life Indiana Jones. But my job has afforded me not only to see so many incredible places, but to see the people that live there. I focus on international poverty, people that are living on less than $1 a day. The actual people that are that statistic. What does it look like? What does it feel like, sound like, and smell like? I use my films to raise awareness for humanitarian issues and to bring real help to people who need it. My job has taught me that there are so many people around the world that want to give back. They want to make an impact, they want to help others, but they just don't know what to do. Sometimes they're paralyzed because they have no clear path forward. People feel like they don't have time to volunteer or money to donate to charity, or they don't even know what cause speaks to them. Right now, with all these protests going on, some people feel like they're not sure how to actually be the best ally. But my work has taught me that empathy is the answer. So what is empathy? Empathy is understanding with someone else. It's trying to see life from their perspective. This is very different from sympathy. Sympathy is feeling sorrow or pity for someone else. Empathy is trying to feel with them. Empathy was first thought to be a personality trait, like creativity or confidence, that some people are just more empathetic than others. Then it was thought to be an inherent trait, that certain groups were born more empathetic than others. Women tend to be more empathetic than men. People that become nurses tend to be more empathetic than those that become debt collectors. So right now, I want you to rank yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. Where do you fall on empathy? 1 is that you're closed off, you don't care about anyone else. And a 10 is that you walk around hugging everyone and you've given away all of your worldly possessions to the others in need. So where do you fall? 1 to 10. The goal of my presentation is to bump you 1 higher on that scale. Because you see, it is now understood that empathy is not a personality trait or an inherent trait. Empathy is a skill set, that you can teach empathy, you can learn empathy, and you can practice being more empathetic. Empathy was best described by the quote, "Don't judge someone until you've walked a mile in their shoes." This is an American proverb, and no doubt you have all heard it before. It actually stemmed from our Native Americans. A very wise person from the Cherokee tribe understood empathy completely. So as a filmmaker, I thought, what if I could take this expression, this literary phrase, and make it real? What if I could truly walk a mile in someone else's shoes? So I picked my favorite subject, impoverished women that are working to pull their families out of poverty. I could visit women that are living in poverty and film the experience of actually walking a mile in their shoes. What is their life like? What are their needs? What is their job? I could understand their struggles, but also understand the solutions. The work of incredible nonprofits around the world that are empowering women to pull their own families out of poverty. I didn't want to walk just 1 mile, of course. I wanted to walk a marathon. 26 miles, 26 different women, 26 different countries, benefiting 26 different charities. Walk a mile looks a little something like this. During my speech, I'll walk you through the first 3 out of 26 different miles. Each one teaches an incredible lesson of empathy. And there's a takeaway that each of you can apply into your own lives to become more empathetic people by the day. You see, when I walk in the shoes of women that speak a different language than me, believe a different religion than me, seemingly live a life that is so different from my own, their story actually starts to sound familiar. It sounds like my story, and inevitably you'll hear your own story in their words. When we approach people with empathy, we connect with them, and we realize the similarities between ourselves and them. We understand then how to help, because if we were in their shoes, we would need exactly the same thing. Empathy builds connection, it brings unity, and it brings people together in a real way that they can actually make an impact on one another's lives. During my speech, I will teach you simple, basic, everyday things that you can do in your life to open yourselves up to the needs of others, to become a more empathetic person, and to figure out the difference that you can actually make in the world. How can we be more empathetic to our coworkers right now? To someone who was furloughed or laid off due to the coronavirus? How can we be more empathetic to our Black community, to our neighbors, to ourselves, and to humanity at large? Now, some of you might be saying, this sounds great, Mallory. Of course, we could use a little bit more kindness and compassion in the world. But is empathy actually going to bring about change? Is empathy going to make a true impact? And I'm here to tell you that you will see through the stories I share that empathy will take you further than you think it will. Empathy has the power to bring about incredible change. I have seen miracles happen in my work from showing a little empathy towards someone else. You don't have to fly to Africa. You don't have to have an around-the-world adventure to make a difference. You can do so right in your own family, in your own company, in your own community. We all know that the world could use it right now. We can use your heart. We need your passion. We need your humanity to shine through. Thank you all so much. I can't wait to start this journey together.